Would it be misleading to say that we're all stardust? That's a famous quote from many astronomers that point out that carbon and all of the heavier elements are from supernova. And from supernova, that means exploded stars is where we get things like nitrogen and oxygen and carbon and so forth that is required to make life. So to say that we're stardust is implying that. But truth be told, a lot of the hydrogen that makes up our bodies comes from the Big Bang. So we're not completely stardust. But the implication is that, yeah, it's really largely attributed to supernovas, so that most of what we see around us is stardust. But technically, it's not exactly true, right? It's not. And a similar argument might be made if I said everything's made of atoms. Would it be wrong to say everything's made of atoms? Now, not everything is made of atoms, right? I mean, is gravity atoms? Is electric field atoms, right? Are those atoms? Are electrons atoms? Not quite. But is it wrong or misleading to say that everything's made of atoms? No, it's not misleading. And when I said that everything is radioactive, I had a lot of comments of people saying that that's wrong, that's not precise. Well, it's the same concept, that really everything is radioactive in the same sense that everything's made of atoms. Yeah, you can find a single atom that's not radioactive, but by the time you get a collective of atoms, eventually one of them is going to become radioactive, say from cosmic ray spallation. That's where natural tritium comes from. That's where natural carbon-14 comes from, and that's in all of us. And that's caused by cosmic rays interacting with nitrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere, breaking those nuclei apart and causing this natural radioactivity. So everything really is radioactive, but you could truly say, I could find one atom and say that one's not radioactive, but all of the infrastructure that went to find and isolate that atom, that's all radioactive. So I find it interesting that that particular statement offended people, which to me, I assume that just means that they're anti-nuclear and they don't like any rhetoric that doesn't agree with their ideology. Everything is radioactive in a very practical, general sense. You have to go to extremes not to have that